Hi, John Morgan here with Bob's Market and Greenhouses, and in this video I'm going to be showing you how to do the Florida weave. Now you might be wondering what that is, whether it's some crazy dance or something like that, but it's actually a method for tying up your tomatoes. So of course you're going to need tomato stakes, whether they're wooden or metal, a hammer to drive them in, of course some string to tie up your tomatoes, and something to cut that string with. So let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so the first thing that we want to do is drive a stake at the end of each row, and that way we can string some string between them to get a perfectly straight line. That'll be important later and you'll see why. Alright, so I've got all my stakes driven in, except for the last two. What I'm going to do is put a stake at each end, going in at an angle. And what that's going to do is I'm going to tie string along the top, attaching it to each stake, and then tying it off here at the end. And that's going to help support the weight of the entire row. Now, of course, we want this one quite a bit deeper. Alright, so the last step is the weave part of the Florida weave. So I've tied off my string at one end, and all that I'm going to do is simply work down through, but I'm going to weave in and out of the plants. So I'm going to go like on this side of this plant, then around to this side of this tomato plant. And then when I get to the stake, I'm going to loop around the stake once and continue on. So I went on this side of this one, so I'll go on this side, then that side, then this side, and then we'll loop. Now I'm going to continue all the way down to the end of the row, and then I'm going to work back, but going in the opposite direction. Alright, so now that I have the entire row done, you can see the weave part of the Florida weave. You can see how the strings go on both sides of this tomato plant, then they cross, and then they go on both sides of this plant. They cross right here, go on both sides of this plant, cross again, go on both sides of this plant, and so on. So that way I have a string on both sides all the way down through. Now as the plants continue to grow through the year, whenever they grow, I don't know, about 10 inches, So right now it's about 6 inches. Whenever it gets about this tall, I'm going to go down through and add another row of string and just continue to weave the branches up through the string. And it works really well. It's great because you don't need stakes at every single plant. And with the string running along the top that's tight, it helps put it under tension, so no one stake is holding up a single plant. And it's really a dead simple way to tie up tomatoes. For this and other great information, visit us online at bobsmarket.com. Another quick tip when you're growing tomatoes is to pinch off the suckers. So in between the branches on tomatoes, you'll sometimes get a little shoot like this. And what you can do is go in and pull that off, and that'll just give that much more energy and nutrients to the developing fruit.